Sometimes the road is more than just cars. In a split second, animals come into the picture and normal trips turn into horrific collisions. 50 horrifying animal cart accidents you can't help but witness takes you through the realities of safety. This motorcyclist suffered a spectacular failure as he crashed into a flock of sheep. Businessman Nikolai Mustafan, 30, and his friend Herman were travelling back from a trip to the Caucasus in Russia in June when Herman crashed into a flock of sheep crossing the road. Travelling at high speeds, Nikolai and Herman saw the sheep coming up ahead, but luckily he received emergency help in time and was wearing a helmet, so he escaped serious injury. I live in Northern Ontario and narrowly missed a cow and calf moose about a week ago. I was doing about 90 kph on a KLR 650, so not much protection. The cow jumped up at last second and ran in front of me from right to left. I had no time to brake. The thing I had drilled in my mind for years was to aim for their arse end, as chances are they will continue to move forward. Hey motorcyclists! A moose can weigh 800 to 1,600 pounds. There's no way you're gonna run into one. Wear a full face helmet and body armour. Slow down in the morning or afternoon and watch for wildlife signs. Oh my god, drivers, don't ever do what the guy in the video did when he hit a cow. Hitting a moose is worse than getting hit by a cow. Ease off the gas and watch for signs of wildlife. Don't be reckless and stay alert on the Glen Highway. Forget the old school car crash with an alligator in the Everglades, Florida. They go as fast as 11 mph, but don't point the finger at the driver and blame them when nature is unpredictable. Drive smart in the rain and turn on your high beams or flash your lights to increase your chances of spotting an alligator and alerting those behind you.
Oh no. Oh my goodness.
We have been in this situation before, but our speed was only about 75 pounds, so we were safe. All we could do was honk or maybe brake a little. There was no other way. The only thing you can do is hold the steering wheel tight, otherwise you could get into a situation where you can't control it.
Dog bitch. Yes.
Steering left or right would be the worst thing you could do. It could cause serious harm to the driver or others around you. The right thing to do in an inevitable crash with an autonomous driving system is to warn everyone in the car that a collision is imminent so that the passengers can prepare. Don't steer, drive straight through it. In the video, you can hear the car alerting me to something. When I looked down, it said the parking assist system was disabled.
Dog bitch.
Apparently because I had no bumpers. I also had the parking assist APP turned off, as you can hear in the video. Somehow it was still on and kept me in my lane. As always, never swerve to avoid anything on the highway, and since the deer was in the middle of my lane, that would have been the worst decision. A tiger's life was taken away on the Mysuru-Nanjangud highway near Mandakali. Road lights should be installed on major roads and residential roads to ensure the safety of motorists.
Dog bitch.
Have you ever had a heart-stopping moment when you encountered a mountain lion on the road? Wildlife crossings are life-changing experiences, right? To reduce traffic accidents, areas like the Santa Ana Mountains in California have implemented animal underpasses. Letting goats run wild causes traffic jams. After the mountain lion tragedy, let's take action by supporting people to fence and monitor their livestock to prevent them from running off the road. If you think this method is right, please click the like button. What's the wildest animal you've seen on the road? Drop your story and let's talk how to keep our rides safe. Hit that subscribe button for more tips in our next video.
Dog bitch.
Collisions with animals also pose a high risk of multiple collisions or causing traffic jams for hours. Install GPS tracking devices on livestock to prevent accidents and practice grazing at least 300 yards away from roads. In Nebraska, lightweight electric grids have been effective in keeping cattle out. Do you think it is expensive or a worthwhile investment?
को दिखाई दे रहा है ये वो गाय है.
In many cases, installing barriers is still effective, but barriers must be at least 5 feet high or they will not be effective. deer crashed into a car, and this is a warning! From this video, you should immediately change your driving style. Don't speed or overtake recklessly. If you accidentally see them, please help them and call the medical centre immediately for timely assistance. The only lucky case, the man was safe. I recommend if the area you live in has frequent accidents, put up animal crossing signs. Reduce accidents by 30%. I hope this tragedy will not happen again. Hopefully we all have a sense of safe driving. I think traffic lights will help drivers notice more easily than signs. Especially at night, it will be more effective. Do you know how much it costs to have a dairy cow in an accident? I tell you, $2,000 a cow. Maybe grazing should be banned. No amount of luck would save a train if we were to sound a warning 1 mile in advance when the speed of a train and a horse would be only 2 seconds. Caught under wheel, causing $3,000 in damage. Farmers need to be educated on livestock management to prevent tragedy. Deer crossing the tracks, trains running over. This number up to 1,000 cases per year. Installing infrared sensors helps detect early. Mother bear hit by train in Montana costs $50,000. Authorities need to build fences along railroad tracks to protect invasive species as a temporary measure, even for roads. The most serious tragedy is when colliding with a 1,100 level moose. which is more serious than a collision on the highway. Drivers should proactively slow down the train to 40 mph in the wilderness. The situation, suddenly the moose rushed out and the accident was inevitable. The video reminds drivers to always be alert. Installing a 5-mile early detection radar to protect trains and livestock could save up to $1 million in damage each time. A solid fence is the best solution. Where livestock is raised, farm owners must protect their livestock. If you are facing this situation, do you have any solutions? Damage is inevitable, so the management agency needs to regularly check train equipment to ensure they operate stably. Training drivers on how to safely cross intersections will help minimize damage. Share with everyone the situations in which it is allowed to cross below. Trains derail due to collisions with animals, so the government has implemented training for engineers to inspect the tracks more often than twice a month. The world is reeling from the little-known fact that goats are now the top meat producers in the world. The booming goat industry has created a serious problem. How to control the goat herd? That is why electric fencing has become the only solution. But if you do not check your fence at least twice a month and risk using a poor quality fence, you will pay a heavy price. While many electric fence products are claimed to be safe, Ensuring safety really depends on proper selection and installation. Some general guidelines include that the AC voltage should not exceed 1000 V. But why not use solid concrete fencing? Only South Africa requires an environmental impact assessment before fences are built. In many countries such as Kenya, Tanzania and Bhutan, fences are often installed haphazardly without clear planning, leading to negative impacts on elephant migration routes. So, do you know what happens when these attempts to avoid failure end up like this? According to Stephen Herrero, a Canadian biologist, in the 1990s, bears were responsible for about 3 serious attacks on humans each year in the United States and Canada. So electric fences, if not properly managed, can increase the risk of attacks. When bears are repeatedly shot or are denied access to natural food, they can become aggressive and seek out human settlement. The fear of blackouts comes not just from unexpected interruptions, but also from the helplessness of squirrels, tiny pests that roam the dark in search of food, accidentally causing short circuits on America's power grid. These outages not only paralyze urban and rural life, from hospitals to factories, but also exacerbate environmental problems as electrical fires threaten local ecosystems. Wire raccoons are a threat to California's power grid. They often move around at night to take advantage of cooler air, which helps regulate their body temperature and avoid overheating. However, this behaviour makes them vulnerable to electric fences, which are designed to deliver a minimum voltage of 2000 volts. That's enough to shock raccoons and keep them from entering. In my opinion, it is better to provide comfortable space for cows to rest, eat and milk in a controlled environment, protecting them from harsh weather elements, instead of using electric fences, which make grazing dairy cows stressful. This can affect the quality of milk. What is your opinion? Are these electric fences really just to keep livestock out? Or are they hiding a dark secret that could destroy an entire ecosystem? Although electric fences are commonly used for large livestock, they are not an effective solution for poultry farming, especially free-range chickens.
Oh.
Chickens are capable of flying, so electric fences, even with a mild electrical impact, cannot prevent them from crossing. Wire fencing is a popular method because plastic and wire mesh are used to enclose the livestock area. Two coyote attacks on Canadian poultry farms are on the rise, costing farmers over $800,000. Is there a solution? In Alberta alone, losses have peaked since 2024, with coyotes breaching farm fences and decimating entire flocks. Some farms have reported losing 150 chickens in a week, turning a minor nuisance into a full-blown agricultural disaster. As their natural prey dwindles, coyotes are venturing dangerously close to human settlements, not only attacking livestock, but also increasing environmental pollution by 20% to 50% per year. A reminder around your home to see if this is a threat. To combat this growing threat, Canadian farmers and authorities have implemented defensive measures, including fencing and reinforced barriers. However, these solutions are only temporary, as this notoriously adaptable invasive species continues to find ways to circumvent security measures. Before we get to the dramatic moments, you should know that in Alberta and Saskatchewan, hunters use leg traps to manage the growing coyote population, but the method has been controversial on animal welfare grounds. Although effective, many consider it inhumane, leading conservationists to push for other deterrents. Canadian law requires trappers to have a license, with fines of up to $25,000 for illegal trapping. Do you agree with the opinion? Comment below so we can discuss. With the formalities done, it's time to set the trap. Hunters scout coyote trails near water sources or livestock pens, always setting traps downwind to avoid detection. Steel jaw traps number 3 or 4 are dyed, waxed and buried just below the surface, anchored deep with steel stakes. A mixture of rotten meat, gland bait and feathers completes the deal. Safety is paramount and hunters must approach from the side wearing gloves and check the traps every 24 hours, as required by law. Will you trust these traps or opt for the non-toxic, hazard-free variety that many inexperienced users use? Over the past 5 years, coyote trapping in Canada has resulted in a significant reduction in livestock losses, with a reported 30% reduction in attacks on poultry farms. The number of licensed trappers has increased to over 2,500, with most operating in remote areas of Alberta and Saskatchewan, far from human settlements. Leg trapping remains the primary method, ensuring a high success rate while adhering to strict wildlife management laws. If you find this method effective, why not give us a like? Dry brush rustles as the hunter crouches low, blending into the muted tones of the wilderness. Camouflage is everything. One mistake and the hunter becomes prey. Coyotes are carnivores, and in this remote corner of Canada, they strike without warning.
I'm good anytime.
Unlike traps, this game requires patience, with a clear 200-foot line of sight to humanely aim. The electronic caller howls, imitating a wounded rabbit to draw the predator closer. What lessons did you learn after watching? An important lesson in coyote hunting is to know your target before you shoot. Anticipating their behavior is just as important as being able to shoot. Also, respect hunting laws and safety guidelines. For more insight into coyote behavior, tracking techniques, and expert strategies, check out invasive species reports and expert hunting forums. Are you ready to step into the wilderness to test your instincts and master the hunt? Comment 1 if you find this video interesting. Tragedy struck at the Lion Park in South Africa when an American tourist was attacked by a lioness despite repeated warnings. The invasive species lunged at him, but luckily he pretended to stand still, which is why the lioness let him go. The park had clear signs not to enter the area, but the rule was ignored. The horrific incident has sparked a global debate about the safety of animal tourism. Park officials confirmed that the lioness will be quarantined. The message is clear. You can take an animal out of the wild, but never take the wild out of the animal. Respect the nature or pay the price. So how do you face a lion? You simply cannot unless you are trained and prepared. This is not Call of Duty, this is real, and your life depends on accuracy. Just like aiming with a red dot at 25 yards, lion hunting requires proper adjustment of your rifle. Experts say you should aim at 50 to 100 yards. Why? Because if a lion charges, even a few inches off can be fatal. Your optics must be solid. Tighten them. Know how to adjust. Take the time to prepare well, because in the wild there are no second chances. Now tell me, are you ready at 50 yards?
Thank you.
Since 2020, drones with thermal imaging capabilities have been scanning 150 square miles in Limpopo, cutting search times to just 2 to 3 hours. Even technology can't replace instinct when the king of invasive species is hunting you. Before the shots rang out across the African bush, there was a lot of strategic activity behind the scenes. On this hunt, the team was focused entirely on tracking a lone male lion reported in the Mbula area of northeastern Mozambique. Preparations began with baiting 2 deer carcasses strategically placed where the lion had last been spotted. This was followed by helicopter surveillance. The next morning, the team picked up fresh tracks and radio calls confirming the lion had returned to feed. Do you think the hunters would miss their chance this time? Lion hunting is not for the faint-hearted. It is a game of patience and teamwork. Hunters must always keep an eye on the trees and bushes, as lions often lurk there. One wrong move and the predator becomes the hunter. In South Africa, managed lion hunting brings in an estimated $3,200,000 annually from over 3,200 international hunters supporting conservation programs and wildlife sanctuaries. The legal framework allows only a limited number of lions to be hunted each season, and hunters must report their knocks down. I have found that if you are hunting a king, you should know the law, respect the land, and never hunt alone. When you go lion hunting, the smart hunter will wear earthy, scent-blocking fabrics that blend into the undergrowth and keep human body odor at bay. Breathable, lightweight, yet durable enough to handle thorns and extreme temperatures. Comment 0 if you agree with putting safety first. Today, hunts are strictly limited, fully licensed, and must be reported. It's no longer just tradition, it's a tightly managed system that balances danger, respect, and preservation. So, what do you think? Should lion hunting continue as part of conservation efforts, or should it be banned altogether? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to share to learn more about how we can protect invasive species and celebrate traditions responsibly. In the scorched desert of southern Arizona, the San Pedro River was once a green haven teeming with wildlife. By the 1990s, it was a ghost river, dry most of the year. Its wetlands wrecked by overgrazing and a fur trade that nearly erased its beavers. These buck-toothed builders, once so common that the river was nicknamed Beaver River, were hunted out by the 1920s for their pelts and castoreum. But in 1999, Arizona's wildlife folks started bringing them back, releasing 15 beavers into Cochise County's parched streams. By 2006, over 30 dams and maybe 100 beavers had transformed the place. Dry gullies became ponds, wetlands bloomed, and birds like the endangered willow flycatcher surged by 50%. The river flowed longer, even during droughts, saving ranchers and reducing wildfire risks. But beavers don't just build dreams, they can stir up trouble. Their dams flooded fields, swamped roads, and turned pastures into bogs, ticking off farmers. By 2010, beavers were chewing through cottonwoods faster than they could grow, threatening orchards and shade trees that old timers cherished. In 2008, a flood wiped out all 30 dams, though the beavers rebuilt fast. By 2019, their numbers crashed to a handful. Some blame mountain lions, others whisper about illegal poaching, a grim nod to the fur trade days. So, how do you keep these beavers in check without wrecking their good work? First up, there's the beaver deceiver, a clever tool catching on fast. It's a sturdy PVC pipe or sometimes a big drainage tube, slipped right through a beaver dam. The pipe lets water flow quietly without the rush or noise that'd tip off the beavers to plug it back up. This keeps water levels low enough to save nearby fields and roads from flooding all while leaving the wetlands, those life-giving ponds beavers create, untouched. Ranchers are all for it. No need to tear down dams or butt heads with nature. The Bureau of Land Management's been setting these up since the 2000s, especially around farms where folks want to coexist with beavers, not chase them off. For bigger problems, like when beavers overbuild or chew too many trees, trapping steps in. From November to April, Arizona's regulated trapping season lets licensed hunters use specialized gear to catch beavers, harvesting fur or castoreum for perfumes. It's about balance, not wiping them out. Relocating beavers is an option, but it's pricey and rare. Strict rules prevent a repeat of the 1,800 S fur trade frenzy though. Overtrapping could still harm the ecosystem. By 2024, San Pedro's beaver count hit 11 to 14, but with deceivers and careful trapping, the river stays lush. We just gotta manage them right. Using guns this way is counterproductive. First, it's a legal mess that puts poachers at risk of fines or worse, especially given Arizona's strict wildlife laws. It's reckless, and bullets don't just hit beavers, they can ricochet and hit nearby animals. Plus, stray bullets near the US-Mexico border, where the San Pedro River runs, add to tensions with concerns about cross-border smuggling, like the gun trafficking lawsuits Mexico has filed against Arizona dealers. So here's the question, if you were a rancher who lost a crop to a beaver dam, would you pick up a rifle or trust humane equipment to keep the floodplain safe?
These approaches have been great at stopping the spread of some invasive species. Got any ideas for even better solutions? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can all dive into it together. Thanks for sticking around and watching the whole video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And hey, be sure to tell your friends about us too so they can check it out. Bye and see you in the next video.
Sometimes the road is more than just cars. In a split second, animals come into the picture and normal trips turn into horrific collisions. 50 horrifying animal cart accidents you can't help but witness takes you through the realities of safety. This motorcyclist suffered a spectacular failure as he crashed into a flock of sheep. Businessman Nikolai Mustafan, 30, and his friend Herman were travelling back from a trip to the Caucasus in Russia in June when Herman crashed into a flock of sheep crossing the road. Travelling at high speeds, Nikolai and Herman saw the sheep coming up ahead, but luckily he received emergency help in time and was wearing a helmet, so he escaped serious injury. I live in Northern Ontario and narrowly missed a cow and calf moose about a week ago. I was doing about 90 kph on a KLR 650, so not much protection. The cow jumped up at last second and ran in front of me from right to left. I had no time to brake. The thing I had drilled in my mind for years was to aim for their arse end, as chances are they will continue to move forward. Hey motorcyclists! A moose can weigh 800 to 1,600 pounds. There's no way you're gonna run into one. Wear a full face helmet and body armour. Slow down in the morning or afternoon and watch for wildlife signs. Oh my god, drivers, don't ever do what the guy in the video did when he hit a cow. Hitting a moose is worse than getting hit by a cow. Ease off the gas and watch for signs of wildlife. Don't be reckless and stay alert on the Glen Highway. Forget the old school car crash with an alligator in the Everglades, Florida. They go as fast as 11 mph, but don't point the finger at the driver and blame them when nature is unpredictable. Drive smart in the rain and turn on your high beams or flash your lights to increase your chances of spotting an alligator and alerting those behind you.
Oh no. Oh my goodness.
We have been in this situation before, but our speed was only about 75 pounds, so we were safe. All we could do was honk or maybe brake a little. There was no other way. The only thing you can do is hold the steering wheel tight, otherwise you could get into a situation where you can't control it.